It is both an honor and a deep responsibility to be here today to celebrate the life of Dr. Gladys McGarey, our teacher, our healer, our friend. Many of you know Dr. Gladys as the mother of holistic medicine, the pioneering physician who helped bring love and compassion back into a field that sometimes forgets the human heart. You also know her as the author of The Well-Lived Life, a 102-year-old doctor's 6 secrets to health and happiness at every age. A book that taught us not just how to survive, but how to thrive, to birth love, nurture, and rebirth anew, each cycle of life. She proved that age isn't a boundary, it's a gateway to new beginnings. And in her words, it only took me 102 years to become an overnight success. Yet we all know she birthed this holistic movement and authored over 6 books. This itself defines Dr. Gladys's life. Be glad. Whatever she confronted, dyslexia, cancer, adversities, they were all birthing chapters for her. If you ever sat with her, you felt this. Your nervous system got a big hug before your shoulders realized it. No matter if you were a patient, colleague, family, or stranger, she made you feel like you mattered, because to her you did. She carried an idea that rearranged rooms and challenged norms by saying your soul is never sick. Your soul is whole. Our work is just to help the rest of you remember that wholeness. Think of it as inner attunement, like tuning a radio. Her playlist, guidance for healing and honoring the goddess within. This goddess is the feminine aspect present in everybody. Picture the Vesica Pisces, 2 circles overlapping, the feminine and the masculine, spirit and science. The sweet spot in the middle, that's where living medicine breathes. We often describe our world as left brain leaning, with all the lists, metrics, and spreadsheets. Dr. Gladys didn't toss anything out. Why? Because she knew that our complicated parts are just as important as the clarity. She invited the whole brain to the party, bar graphs and belly laughs, peer-reviewed studies and peer-generated hugs, and somewhere between the data and the delight, care became culture. And if there's one thing she taught me that I'll always hold tight, it's this. Living medicine is the birthing and embodiment of love in action. It's not a slogan, it's an operating system. So yes, we honor her life. We also take a page from her notes. Tonight isn't a debate, it's a birthing room. We're not here to admire ideas under glass. We're here to midwife them into our homes, clinics, teams, and communities. If we do that, her work doesn't end, it multiplies. Here's a question to help us begin. What if the most advanced technology in the room is still the human heart, tuned and coherent? And a follow-up, what would it look like to organize our care of people and planet around this truth? Dr. Gladys's life and words call all of us to keep building a community that nurtures the spirit and the soil. She reminded us we are here for 2 things, to love and be loved. And this is the real work we came to do, and it could take many lifetimes to perfect. So let's begin where she always began, by making the invisible visible. Deeply influenced by her time in India and a belief in exploring both the spiritual and psychic aspects of healing, let's not forget that she was co-founder of the Academy of Parapsychology and Medicine, as well as the ARE Clinic in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll tune the inner station, bring light into tissue, and let love become something you can hear in a voice and feel in the soul. And yes, we'll try to keep it fun and clever. Tools from Dr. Gladys's med kit. Ironically, the old doctor bag is known as a Gladstone because she knew joy travels faster when it's laughing. Let me start with a word Dr. Gladys loved to play with, femifesting. I'll be honest, the first time I heard femifesting, I tilted my head, curious. And she went on to say, did you ever notice that all the female inconveniences, from cramps to hot flashes, start with men? Like menstruation, menopause, and as a global sentiment, mental illness. She'd grin and say, we don't just manifest, we femifest first. And that grin held an entire philosophy, a philosophy where living medicine is the birthing and embodiment of the love in action. She didn't disrupt medicine by rejecting what works. She expanded it by balancing what works with what warms, not either or, both and. Anatomy and vitals and values. Dr. Gladys would remind us often, before any real manifest, there is a femifest. Translation, something is forming. The seed is doing its slow, holy work in the dark. If you dig it up every 15 minutes to see if it's sprouting, you don't get a plant. You get a very confused seed and dirty fingernails. We're conditioned to worship speed and outcomes. We rush the sprout and bruise the seed. We celebrate the baby and forget the womb that held it. We publish the paper and ignore the silence that conceived the insight. We applaud the cure and skim past the listening that made it possible. So she would invite us to slow, to sit, to breathe, to hold space like a womb holds a future we can't yet name. She would ask us to let the soul buffer. She trusted what was trying to be born. She trusted timing. Femifesting, she'd say, is relational. It's not isolation, it's co-regulation. We don't just sit alone and hope. We hold light for one another. Well, what's becoming becomes. You felt it, right? A circle goes quiet, and suddenly the tears have permission. A patient tells the story behind the symptom. A team moves from, "What's wrong with you?" to "What happened?" And in that shift, skepticism turns to openness. Openness to delight, not because we did more, but because we held more. That's femifesting. It midwives the unseen so the seen can arrive whole. Femifesting looks like this, leaving 3 extra beats after someone finishes talking, because the real sentence arrives in beat 4. That's listening. It looks like pausing before you prescribe, witnessing before you fix, honoring the person before you categorize a problem. And as Dr. Gladys would insist, it looks like joy. Femifesting dignifies everyone in the room. It says, you are not a task to complete, you're a life to meet. And when we meet each other there, delight sneaks in while possibility wakes up. So yes, we manifest, we chart, we measure, we move, but before that, we femifest. We let love do its slow chemistry. We incubate wholeness. We protect what's forming. We keep the dial tuned in to that inner station where guidance is broadcasting 24/7, no subscription required. If living medicine is the birthing and embodiment of love in action, femifesting is the birthing room. And birthing rooms are not the finish line, they're the bridge, when science and spirit merge. Let's name the confusion aloud. So which is it, science or spirit? Do we order labs or light candles? Do I need a stethoscope or sage? Dr. Gladys would smile at the either or and say, yes. Then she would add, and. Love, when it's alive, uses both hands and an open heart. Modern medicine is brilliant at the acute. If your bone is zigzag where straight should be, x-ray it, set it, splint it. We're grateful for that kind of doing. But we are also inconveniently not just a bag of bones. We carry minds, spirits, nervous systems, histories, hysterectomies, and whole weather patterns of emotion. Microclimates moving through us hour by hour. But we're not only matter, we're also meaning. We don't just circulate blood, we circulate stories. Treating only what's cracked misses what's crying. Treating only what's visible misses what's steering it all. Through the lens of living medicine, healing is not merely identifying the broken part and swapping it out. It's remembering what is already whole within us and inviting that wholeness to take lead. Because being selects while doing supports. Dr. Gladys's realization was simple and revolutionary. Being without doing is sentiment. Doing without being is machinery. The problem comes, as she has stated, when God said we had dominion, we mistook it as dominance. When we start extracting instead of stewarding, we hurry. We rush, we control, we measure so hard we forget to notice. That tilt toward all doing erodes our health and creates dis-ease. And the opposite tilt doesn't help either. If your appendix is auditioning for the Cirque du Soleil, we don't need a feeling circle at that time. We need a surgeon. Stitches for heartbreak don't work. Herbal tea for a ruptured organ, also not ideal. The point is not to pick one. It's pair them on purpose. Nothing moves without love, and love moves best when being and doing travel together. Imagine you're driving at night. Science is your headlights, clear, measurable, aimed exactly where you're going. Spirit is your windshield. If you don't keep it clean with presence, even the best headlights just make more glare. You need both to see the road. Because love in action is not soft, it's specific. It honors the lab result and the lived reality. It holds the scalpel and the story. Living medicine isn't choosing between a stethoscope and a soul. It's wearing the stethoscope while you listen for the soul to be heard. Because in this house that Dr. Gladys has built, science without spirit loses its heart, and spirit without science loses its hands. Together, they become love you can feel and love you can do. Our work is to keep that light balanced and burning, so what begins in presence can move through us as purpose. Dr. Gladys didn't carry a candle for us to admire from a safe distance. She held hers so that each of us could light our own, to amplify our lights together so we can more clearly shine light on what's presenting and journey down this path together. The light she lived with isn't ornamental, it's operational, and now it's our turn to do the igniting. Healing is not a solo sport, and I'm not just talking about symptom relief. It's a journey into consciousness where we widen our awareness so we can make notice of patterns upstream from our pain, so we can return to the inner physician, the physician within you, who says, pay attention, tune the dial. That tuning is not vague, it's a skill. Notice leads to naming, which leads to nurture. We reclaim soul fragments we dropped when life got fast, and we stitch this red thread into the connected whole. Or in Dr. Gladys's word, I'm not just interested in reliving my patient's symptoms, I'm interested in helping them see their current distress in the context of the greater journey their soul is undertaking. That's not a slogan, that's a treatment plan. In other words, she prescribed a prescriptive, holistic healing, a living medicine. Side effects may include calm, coherence, and better decisions. And here's where the physicists smile. At tiny scales, observation changes behavior. At human scales, attention does too. When Dr. Gladys was born in 1920, the field of general mechanics quickly shifted to quantum mechanics, and now quantum physics is bringing to light that science and spirit are two sides of the same coin. The applications to medicine are profound and explore how well-being might be influenced at the smallest scales. Spirit knows what science is just beginning to explore, that attention and intention ripple, both as particle and waveform, yet always as a potential, a possibility, until observed, and then it collapses into the observable. Yes, even a steady exhale sends a tiny wave through your whole system, and even through the rest of the universe. In other words, everything you do has a ripple effect from the inside out. In physics, the double-slit experiment shows that observation changes the state of matter by collapsing a waveform into a particle. Wow! So matter remains in a state of potential, a potentiality, until it is observed by anything, a machine or a human. So is light a wave or a particle? It's both. And the observer is what makes it matter, literally. Now at a human scale, no one is saying your gaze turns a donut into a kale salad, but attention does shape outcomes. Better adherence, lower stress, stronger immune response, calmer nervous systems. My point is to honor a parallel. What we attend to with love changes how life organizes in us. That word coherence matters. Coherent light makes a laser. It turns a regular flashlight into a precision instrument for surgery. Coherent rhythms, like our heartbeat and relationships, help make a resilient nervous system. Light organizes life because aligned signals let cells and systems synchronize. When we cultivate inner coherence, our outer scientific view stops arguing with our inner spirit, and our choice becomes coherent and harmonized. We femifest and cultivate alignment before we manifest. Spirit has often intuited what science later maps. Let's use two examples. Neuroplasticity. Spirit knows attention retrains us. Medical scanners later prove the brain rewires with practice. What fires together wires together. The microbiome in the mind. Ancient wisdom said the gut feels. Research now shows a gut-brain conversation that influences mood and inflammation. The lesson here is humility. Our job is to not pick sides, but to keep the dance floor open. Because we don't need more dominance, we need stewardship. We don't need louder bravado, we need belonging. We don't need tighter control, we need coherence. People love being near Dr. Gladys because she made love visible. She femifested the field, then manifested the plan. And yes, inspiration is contagious, while follow through is curative. The quantum we're invited into is not mystical escapism. It's an everyday discipline of bringing light and love into ourselves, so our individual selves can bring love into our homes and hospitals. Dr. G's life wasn't a museum exhibit. It was a manual. And that manual was short enough to fit on a sticky note. We are here for two things, to love and be loved. So simple, yet lifetimes to complete. If you ever sat with her, you felt how seriously she lived with this inner knowing, what she called juice, the animating substance that keeps people vital, enlivened, connected, engaged, and on purpose. She met you like you mattered, because to her you did. So how can we carry her light forward? What if we all affirm a community covenant where we practice these three concepts as a living medicine? Stewardship over dominance. We repair what we touch, both people and places. Belonging over bravado. We build safety before we push speed of results, coherence over control. We align signals so we can synchronize and heal in others and ourselves. Dr. Gladys's words of work call us to create practices that enhance human well-being because life and love are one unit. Laughter with love is a tonic. Listening with love is understanding. So yes, we grieve her passing and wish she were here, and we also celebrate her living. Her presence is here with us now, and in every moment, we laugh more freely, love more boldly, listen more deeply, and when we light up another's life. We are everywhere, yet nowhere, and this is home. As we leave this gathering, may we carry with us the lessons Dr. Gladys so generously gave, that love is the true medicine, that joy is not optional but essential, and that each one of us is here to bring light where there is darkness. May her wisdom live in our choices, may her courage live in our hearts, and may her joy live in our laughter. Tonight isn't just a tribute, it's a transfer. If each of us commits to embody her living medicine as science and spirit, it will both nourish and protect. Then her work doesn't end, it multiplies. So let's start Femifesting. Shabash, and be glad. Thank you for being part of this journey.